basic research, and we are also clear about the methods and methodology, and we are also clear about what is a research methodology. Okay, now let's move on to the research process, the final objective of today's class. So this, I'm going to tell you the 6-step process in which we do a scientific research, no matter it is qualitative or quantitative, it is descriptive or explanatory, any form of research, we need to follow these particular steps. So please mark these steps and try to figure out how we do all these steps. So all these subject in these 14 lectures, I'm going to explain these 6 steps in very detail. So this is the backbone of your subject, and it is the basic understanding of your research methodology. So what we need to do is, in each class, I'm going to explain one step, and then we are going to extend. Maybe in some steps, we are going to take 2 or 3 lectures. So that is how your research method subjects is going to be taught. So you have to understand these 6 steps are very important in this case. Okay, so let's start. Now, the first thing you have to do is to formulate and clarify a topic. Now, this step is basically your starting point. In this case, you have to think what would be your topic. That can be, again, it can be basic or it can be applied. So you have to think whether you are working for a company or providing a solution to a company, or you are going to extend the body of knowledge which can be used universally. Okay, so you have to think in which classification is your research, and then you have to formulate your research question. So research question is the thing, or objective, we call it objective of questions. Both are linked with each other. So in that case, you have to understand, the more clearer your research question or research objective is, the more clearer your research finding would be. So in that case, this step is the most important part of your research. When you are going to start your research, you should clearly identify your topic. As I mentioned in my classes, many of my students, they come to me and they said, "Sir, I am interested in human behavior. I am interested in human resource management. I am interested in finance. I am interested in operation management." So this means, it means nothing to me, because human resource management is a very broader concept, and there are many steps or many procedures involved in human resource management. So what particularly your area of interest? When we ask this question, it is not about any subject. It means that you have to address what is your basic concept where you want to work. For example, I'm planning to work on digital technologies. I'm planning to work on sustainability. I'm planning to work on financial technologies, medical technologies. There are many different topics. These topics are also under that human resource management. For example, digital human resource performance. All these are basically the concept which you can study, but all comes under the human resource management. So that is why this first step is very important. You have to narrow down your area of interest. It should not be the broader one. It should be very specific, and most importantly, the latest one. Okay, so try to figure out what are the new research agendas are there. Try to see some new articles and try to find out what is your interest, the area of interest. In that case, you would be able to identify your research question. To identify research question, you have to figure out your area of interest, and then you have to move on in this case. Okay, so that would be your first step. In this case, I would expect that you are going to give me your area of interest in the next class. Okay, so before the next class, I would be able to understand what is your area of interest, and if there is any confusion in that, we can discuss and we can find out a particular area of interest for you, and then we can see what are the challenges, issues, or future agendas or literature gaps are available on that particular issue. Okay, so that particular